Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope your Friday's off to a really good start. We're going to hop on here and do our weekly weather outlook. I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes just to get a couple more people to join. All right. All right. So, unfortunately, we have to take today's weekly outlook a little bit shorter and sweeter. We have to do midday in about 15 minutes here. But just want to start off with today. Man, it's gorgeous outside. We are seeing temps running around 5 to 10 degrees above normal by the afternoon. Highs along the coast, the upper 70s, the low 80s for inland spots here. Saw some of that fog this morning. Of course, we always see fog develop when the difference between dew point and temperature is less than 4.5 degrees. We saw that this morning. Temps were around 65 degrees in Panama City, and your dew point was at 64 degrees. So you see that fog develop. Hopefully you're able to give yourself a little extra time this morning. And otherwise, what we have for this weekend is nothing but good news. We're seeing a high pressure ridging in control. And so that's just going to keep a lot of sunshine Saturday and Sunday around. I know there's a lot of events kind of getting canceled. Hopefully you can get outside and take advantage of it. It's still running above normal. Temperatures in the 80s for Saturday, temperatures in the 80s for Sunday. Potentially some coastal spots topping off in the upper 70s, and we only fall back down to the 60s overnight tonight and into tomorrow night. Here's the Climate Prediction Center. I wanted to show you this outlook before I kind of explain a little more in depth of why we're seeing such beautiful weather. No complaints. It's absolutely been one of those weeks where no news is good news. It's been gorgeous. All right, Climate Prediction Center associated with NOAA puts this out in advance, and it's the probability that we'll see those warming trends or cooling trends above normal temperatures, below normal temperatures across the U.S. So clearly, if you hone in on the southeast, we're going to see those above normal temperatures hang around. It's that vivid dark maroon color you're seeing, and you see that bar at the bottom where you're seeing that 90 percentile range. That's right where we are in Northwest Florida. And then we head over on the right hand side where you're seeing we're kind of in that neutral zone, and this is your precipitation map. So what we're talking about is expecting above normal temperatures for the next week, potentially even the next 2 weeks. And then in terms of rainfall, note that the peninsula is going to see that below normal trend where we should potentially be on track to stay right about where we should be in terms of average rainfall for the month of March. Okay, I wanted to hop on here and show you just our setup and how it's really not going to change or hinder any of your weekend plans here, which is great news. It's been beautiful. It's going to continue to be beautiful. All right, so what we're looking at is a high pressure system, and what we do is we analyze the atmosphere at different layers. And so every morning when I come in, every evening when Ross comes in, every weekend when Melissa comes in, and just throughout the week, we're continuing to analyze what's changing in the atmosphere. But obviously, that's a huge thing to look at. And so we're looking at the different layers, and a lot of times we look at the 500 millibars level. That's where you're seeing the atmosphere roughly split in half. So down to the surface and all the way to the top of the atmosphere with the jet stream and things like that. At the 500 millibars level, that's where you can generally get a good idea of the mid-level atmospheric, what's called trough and ridge pattern. So you have a low pressure system come through. That's typically associated with that trough. High pressure, that's associated with a ridge. And those lines I'm drawing, that's what you're seeing with ridging in the atmosphere in the mid-levels. And that associated with that clockwise motion with your winds. So you have the winds typically moving clockwise, calming at the surface. So that's impacting so much. And what happens here is, say you have a cold front trying to dig into our area, which a cold front is right now. It's such a persistent powerful high pressure system, it's just going to keep blocking out any disturbances from reaching our area. And it's also, if you imagine pressure pushing down at the surface, high pressure, not low pressure, letting that air rise, it's causing the air to sink. So as it's doing so, there's so many impacts you can think of. Right now, our winds are only 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's going to hold true throughout the weekend, and that's going to impact things like your beach and boating conditions. It's going to keep the seas, the bays calm. It's going to typically be associated with yellow flags at the beach because we're not seeing those seas kicked up. And so that system will not break down until closer to the end of your next work week, which for us just means a really, really nice weekend. And I hate to cut this short, but have to get ready for midday. Probably won't have time to actually answer questions on this go around, but please post them or message me and I would be happy to answer them. But in the meantime, hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. There's the same ingredients for fog to develop overnight again tonight. So if you're getting going early on your Saturday, just keep that in mind. Probably going to want to give yourself that extra time as well. But otherwise, enjoy your weekend and we'll talk again next Friday.